we've got a very fascinating game here for you in Week 16. A game that has very little playoff implications on the overall outcome of the 2023 season. But if you look at the draft implications in the 2024 offseason and the future seasons to come, major implications as the Arizona Cardinals fly out to Chicago. Chicago is currently sitting at the third overall pick. The Bears currently have the first overall pick thanks to their trade with the Carolina Panthers. And the Bears now are sitting, I believe, about fifth or sixth overall in the draft. Fifth. Perfect. So, major draft implications here. And Ryan, as a Patriots fan, you're heavily invested in this game. I think one of the reasons, too, we talked about this game a little bit because it's unfortunate the Bears actually lost against the Cleveland Browns because they're actually playing really good football. Defense is honestly one of the better ones in the league. Their pass defense especially has improved. Defensive line is phenomenal, best run defense in the league. But kind of want to talk also a little bit about the offseason implications for both of these teams and which route they're going to go. With Kyler Murray come back and playing well, I would say to me it's almost more of a lock that they're going to be the first non-quarterback pick in the draft. And I don't know how they don't add Marvin Harrison Jr. to this team, which I think would be absolutely scary with Kyler Murray, Marvin Harrison Jr. Trey McBride has been playing really well. Also, still have some other good weapons down there. But then with the Bears, though, that first overall pick, there's less really that they can control with having that first overall pick because it all depends on how the Panthers play. But that being said, if they had that pick, I think Justin Fields has been playing well. And yet they're going to have options to Caleb Williams, Drake May, anybody that they want under the sun in this draft. What are some of the routes that you think that they're going to go in the that both teams are going to go in the 2024 offseason?
Well, so first off, in this game specifically, I'm actually very excited to watch this game, and maybe because I am invested in how the draft is going to play out with the Patriots being right around where these two teams are going to pick. But these two teams play hard, and I know they're 3-11 and 5-9, and they're eliminated from playoff contention. But this Bears defense got healthy and is legit. They get after the passer ever since the Montez Sweat trade. They have been going nuts. The Cardinals we've been saying they've been a tough out all year, and like that is going to be not an easy game for them.
Yeah.
It's like this is going to be a tough, hard-nosed football game, and kind of when it comes to the draft, I think you look, and there were a lot of questions around the Cardinals, like, well, are they going to be drafting a quarterback? Are they going to just stick with Kyler Murray as their guy? And I think he's answered a lot of those questions in his short time back, and he's been playing really well. I just don't think that this offense is quite caught up to the level that he's able to play at. I still think they're just kind of running more simple schemes. And like Marquise Brown is good, but this offensive line needs some help as well. And then this defense, I think, while they play hard, needs to be remodeled. And I think that's going to be a big thing for them. But then the Chicago Bears, I think, are going to have the most interesting dilemma this offseason. And you could make a very solid case on why they should draft Caleb Williams #1 overall if the Panthers are able to stay there. Or if they should take Marvin Harrison Jr. and at #1 and stick with Justin Fields as their quarterback. Because Justin Fields was not the problem in a lot of their losses. I know there's some injury concerns there, but like he's been playing super well since he got back. And I think you look athletically, and I would say 9 times out of 10, he's probably the most athletic guy on the field, unless they're playing the 49ers and Fred Warner's out there.
Yeah.
Like he is just an elite athlete at the quarterback position. And I think that's something you have to account for. So
yeah, no, he is an absolute elite athlete, especially in you go and look back at the 2021 draft. Like Trevor Lawrence was the clear #1. No one's going to go and negate that. But Zach Wilson's out of starting job. Trey Lance is on a different team, backup. Mac Jones is who we don't know his outcome now. He was taken after Justin Fields.
Yeah,
but you are looking at these opportunities though, and man, he is just super athletic. He's developed well. Still, I mean, maybe could be a little bit more careful with the ball. I feel like he has some fumbles, some untimely fumbles, in key moments of games here. But in general, though, I mean, just the type of athlete now, he's that modern day quarterback mold,
Yeah.
and he can sling it. He has, I think we've seen significant improvement, especially the second half of the season, especially after he's come back from injury. His connection with DJ Moore, Cole Kmet, has always been his number one option, in my opinion. He hasn't really had anybody to throw to his entire time in Chicago, and it's just interesting
until this year.
And until this year,
Yeah.
Thank you for making sure that was in there. But you go look at historical trends, and there's a couple interesting ones here on what they would get. Teams wouldn't want to give up a first round pick for somebody's sloppy seconds, so to say. Like they got a mid first round quarterback in their eyes. Now they have the number one overall pick if that's what they end up getting, and then they're going to go and get this brand new polished toy that they can kind of mold and do whatever they want with, whether it be Caleb Williams, Drake May, Jaden Daniels, even potentially. I could see an argument now with just how athletic that he is. Probably not over those two guys. I'm just saying like an outside shot. So Bears are probably going to be looking at a couple of day two picks over 2024. So it's going to be interesting to see then, is that enough for them? Or, I mean, but then also you can have Marvin Harrison Jr. and heck, you could even get Brock Bowers, Malik Neighbors. You can go get the best defensive player. If you take Marvin Harrison Jr. first, would not be surprised. And even now too, with Washington benching Sam Howell, it's a lot of speculation potentially on what that offseason is going to look like for Washington. Also, are they going to take a quarterback? It's potential then too. You can have access to the top tackles. Malik Neighbors might be there if you want to double up on receiver and just absolutely just stud out your receiver room. That's what it's going to be very fascinating to see what the Bears do in the offseason.
For me, I think you go quarterback here, and to me, Caleb Williams is as blue chip quarterback prospect I think that we've seen. I think part of the struggles that we've seen this year, just how bad USC actually was, and like right now, I think Caleb Williams and Justin Fields are comparable. Like if you plugged Caleb Williams into this Bears offense, I think they're comparable performance. Like they would have a comparable performance. With that being said, Caleb Williams has 4 more years left on a rookie deal, so you're kind of resetting that clock as well. And then you still have the 5th pick, and you can go get Malik Neighbors, and you have Malik Neighbors, DJ Moore, Darnell Mooney, and I mean the amount of speed that would be on the field at any given time would just be absolutely insane. And then I think you trade Justin Fields and get you can get a 2nd and a 3rd probably from a team, or maybe like they wouldn't trade in division, but a team like Washington, it would probably give you another top 40 pick for a guy like Justin Fields. So
it's going to even from the Falcons standpoint.
Exactly.
That we need quarterback. I know we at least have an additional 3rd coming from Jacksonville, maybe even a 2nd. So that's some draft capital there. And if we're picking in the early part of the draft, so we're going to be picking the early part of the 3rd round, and we still get to keep our 1st pick. If we could get Justin Fields and then get a 2nd receiver, as in like if Malik Neighbors would fall, probably not to like 8 or 9, but then also Romo Dunze should be there. Like really fill out our entire offensive set point, our entire offensive set. Having a guy like Justin Fields and that overall dynamicness in that backfield, and then with those receiver weapons, it could be extremely scary in my eyes. And so, unlike our type of offense now, but it's going to be interesting here. This game in particular is going to be fun to watch, just because with the Cardinals, they play so hard. Huge props to them. I fully coming into the season, preseason, did not give them any shot whatsoever. To even win a game. I'm looking at this talent. I didn't think Kyler Murray was going to come back, but it's almost they're doing like a Cleveland Browns to Deshaun Watson ask, like, okay, let's see what we have here. Then let's try and focus on the offseason to fill up some of our gaps. And I think they're finding good talent. That's going to be another thing too. I really want to see like which areas and players are good, especially on the defensive side of the ball, because that's probably an area that they're going to spend a lot of time on as well. It's going to be on the defensive side of the ball. But let's get into our picks here, though. But before we do that, if you have not already, like, subscribe, and ring the bell to get notified whenever we create new content. Ryan and I, we have a unique goal of getting to 2,333 subscribers. The reason why we chose that number, if we hit that number, we would have gotten 2,000 unique subscribers this calendar year. So it'd be honestly a shock. I can't believe how successful that we've been this year. Really looking forward to 2024. All thanks to you guys and our growing community. So like, subscribe, and ring the bell. And Ryan, who do you have winning this game and why?
I'm going to go with the Chicago Bears. I just think they're the better team. They really should have beat Cleveland. If they didn't have I don't want to say fluky, but like that touchdown pass to Amari Cooper was an insane throw by Joe Flacco. And then for Amari Cooper to stay in bounds and get up the sideline like that, that's just not a play that you see every day. I think Chicago kind of let their guard down there because they were like, all right, if we just play good assignment football, they can't go down and score. And then they got almost all of it in like 3
Yeah.
So that for me, I think the Chicago defense is legit. I was a big fan of Tremaine Edmonds, talking about him in the free agency class. He's playing really, really well. And then Montez Sweat and the two rookies, Gervin Dexter, Zach Pickens, are playing well.
Yeah.
And like this Bears secondary is playing really well as well. And I think they'll be able to kind of contain Kyler Murray. And I think where he really burns teams is when he can get outside the pocket and kind of use his legs and put defenses in a blender that way. Is when they're really going to struggle. And then on the flip side, I just don't know if this Cardinals defense, they're going to play really, really hard and they're going to make plays. I just don't know talent-wise. I think DJ Moore is going to be a lot to handle for them as well. Darnell Mooney is probably still kicking himself over dropping that Hail Mary touchdown pass at the end. And I just like the Bears in this matchup.
Yeah. I've said this before. I'm 8 games back from you in our season-long competition. I'm trying to find games to where I can maybe sneak out potential victory here. And I think maybe this might be one of those opportunities, even though I think the Bears are probably playing a little bit better. I just like the way that the Cardinals play. It's not going to be an easy matchup. So I'm going to go with the Cardinals here on the road. I think the biggest difference, honestly, is just going to be the coaching. I feel like Matt Eberflus still doesn't give the Bears overall, doesn't put them in the best situations, I would feel, throughout the season. We've seen them lose costly games because of like blown leads or coaching decisions. So I'm actually going to go with Arizona in this one. Also help you out a little bit in your overall kind of securing of the number 2 seed overall, as long as you guys lose to Denver. So I think that I'm definitely an underdog in this one, but I'm going to have to try and find some games here. So I'm going to go with the Cardinals in this one. Like the way Kyler Murray's been playing, James Conner. They actually, honestly, too, then I know the Bears have one of the top defenses, top run defense, actually the top run defense in the league. But the Cardinals actually are one of the better run offenses as well. So I'm going to be curious to see how that gets utilized. So I'm going to go with the Arizona Cardinals in this one.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a close game. One of the things, too, the Cardinals are 1-6 on the road. And that one win was against the Pittsburgh Steelers, who
Very nice.
I don't want to say I've fallen off a cliff because I don't think they ever should have been 7-4. But I have fallen off a cliff. They lost to 2 2-win teams in a row. And then got just, I think, embarrassed by the Colts on Saturday. So that to me, I think is a little bit concerning. I just don't know if this defense travels as well for the Cardinals, but I think it's going to be a close game. So let's go ahead and wrap this video up here. I'm going with Chicago Bears. Tyler's going with the Cardinals. Go ahead and like and subscribe and help Tyler reach that goal getting 2,333 subscribers. While you're down there, go ahead and leave a comment on who you think is going to come out ahead, the Arizona Cardinals or the Chicago Bears. Other than that, we will see you guys next time.